Well, another team here fighting to land in the top 4 is Manchester United. And with their back-to-back wins, they are now third favourite to win the title. And with possibly the top signing in the Premier League, Angel Di Maria, could they scoop the title, or is Chelsea too strong a team this year?
Chelsea are too strong. When Man United won't win the title, I'll give anyone any price they want. I can't see that happening. I mean, you mentioned those back-to-back wins, and as good as they are, and at the end of the season, it's just 3 points, and no one remembers what the games were like. But for the purposes of what we're doing, which is looking at games to bet on and predict what's going to happen in the next game, they were lucky to get away with the win against West Ham. They were lucky to get away with the win against Everton as well. They faded badly in the second half, played very well the first half, scored the goals, as we talked about, Natalie, before those games. We thought there'd be goals in the first half, and then suddenly they lose their way in the second half. That West Ham game, as soon as Rooney was sent off, I don't think they had a shot on goal after that. I mean, it's a long time for a Man United team to not have a shot on goal. So I think there's still quite a lot of work to do there. They've got their own injury problems as well, Manchester United. I think they're just going to have quite an enjoyable season where the fans get to see them scoring lots of goals. They'll concede a few. They'll win some games 4-3. They'll batter some teams. They'll get beaten by the bigger teams, I think, is how it'll land. I still think they could sneak into the top 4, though, because I think Tottenham have got other things on their mind. Everton have got Europe on their mind as well. Liverpool, of course, in the Champions League for as long as that lasts. So I think they could, especially if Arsenal go on the if Arsenal start to fall away a tiny bit, I think Manchester United could sneak in there. But they've got a really hard run in, Manchester United. Usually they're these easy into the season, or easy in inverted commas. They've got the top 6 from last season in their final 11 games. So they need to have improved to such an extent by the time we get to kind of mid-March for them to really be able to compete against the top 6 sides. I know they beat Everton, who were in the top 6 last season, but I'm not sure they can cope with Chelsea's and Manchester City's and maybe even the Liverpools and Arsenal's. I think they've had a relatively easy start to the season, Man U. So top 4, but I don't like the price. I mean, it's odds on at the moment for them to be in the top 4.
Yeah.
I couldn't be touching that right now.
No, and I know. Last time I looked, actually, it was about 1.57 there to end up in the top 4, which seems like incredibly low, considering like every week, they're so unpredictable. Every week they're back, then they're not, and they suffer sort of a big loss there, and obviously time will tell. Say moving forward next week when the games commence, can you see another win in store for Manchester United? And where can you see them taking themselves?
Yeah, I think they'll be around the top 4, top 5, top 6 all season. I don't think they'll slip away again. I don't think they'll go much further down. It's just when it gets to the big games, I think they'll be found wanting, because what they're relying on right now is scoring more goals than the opposition. I know that's what every football team relies on, but especially with Manchester United, because they can't go into a game thinking we're going to keep a clean sheet. They won't be confident of that. So they need to get out quick and score lots of goals. When they come to play the big teams, they won't be able to do that as easily because the defences will be much better. I know we've got quality in Van Persie and Rooney and Falcao and Di Maria, great players. But they would push further back by the good teams. The good teams will push them back and test their defence a lot more. I don't think they'll be able to cope. I think it'll be entertaining watching them trying to cope. But personally, I think they'll struggle against the bigger sides, and I think that will cost them in the end. But you don't have to beat the big teams to finish in the top 4. You have to beat the big teams to win the title or finish in the top 2. So I think top 4 is achievable. It's just from a betting point of view, I just don't like the price because they are so inconsistent.
I agree. The SBR network offers free sports picks and game breakdowns, big money free betting contests year-round, a real-time Vegas-style odds monitoring service, and much more. So come see for yourself. To stay updated on SBR news and promotions, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+, and do be sure to subscribe to the Sportsbook Review YouTube channel to catch all our daily sports shows.